Hello, everyone. This is Mary Flynn O'Neill, and I'm the Executive Director of America's Future, an organization that's 77 years old. We're having a educational summit, second one in Michigan, in Sterling Heights, December 8th. I would love to have everyone join us. It's a Protect and Defend Our Children project that we kicked off last December. It is an educational seminar for the community to learn about child exploitation and children trafficked and in that state. So we also, the next day on the 9th, we'll be having a day of training. Several instructors will be there training. Liz Krogan will start off in the morning with a coffee. Our summit panel is phenomenal. Laura Logan will MC it. Jason Jones, Christine Dolan, Tara Rodez, and Basel. He's amazing. This is going to be a phenomenal summit and training for Michigan, and we're really can't wait to get there. So please join us. You'll learn a lot. You'll get a lot out of this seminar, this education. Thank you.
No, you're more than welcome. And for those of my friends who are on this chat, I just dropped everything you need in the chat. So you've got the PDF of their flyer. You've got a link to the website. And Mary, I just want to make sure that me and my friends do the right things for you and the general. Are you giving us permission to push this out as hard as we can on our social media sites?
Oh, that would be just wonderful. God bless you. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
And is there anything else that we can do for you and the general? Just ask, because you've got an army of digital soldiers right here.
You're amazing. Just keep praying for all of us. We're all a family here. We're all big family. So we love you all.
Well, you have no idea how we feel about the Flynns. And speaking on behalf of my friends, we have been right with you guys every step of the way. We wish we could have shouldered more of the load that the general has gone through. I also served in Army intelligence, and I had the pleasure of having dinner with the general one evening, and I got to look him in the eye.
Wow.
And tell him that I would have given anything to have served under his command. And because karma is so sweet, he parachuted in on my 60th birthday and wished me and my friends a happy birthday. And it was awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I got to see him paratroop in an event, and it is amazing to watch them all jump off the plane and jump in. Ooh, that's beautiful.
And I just wanted to, thank in front of my friends, Donna Brandenburg, who has been just such a sweetheart to me and my friends and such a support for all of us. But she's the one who got you on this call tonight. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Kyle, for supporting Donna. And I just can't tell you, you guys are like a giant morale boost, because many of these people on this call, and right now there's 40, many of us have been in this now for more than 6 years.
Wow.
And I literally have more time in what we're going through together than I did when I was active duty for 4 years. So
wow, that's amazing.
We are dedicated to what you guys are doing. We believe in you, and we're right behind you.
Well, thank you. Well, we're never going to stop. My brother and I are pretty similar in age. He's a couple of years older than me. I'm 7th in the family, and so I'm right behind him. I've got his back. I will stay in this fight as long as he needs me to be in this fight, and that's till the end of my time. So, we've got grandchildren to fight for and children. So,
well, I can't wait and I hope the general pops in and gives us a little bit more little details on this symposium, because we are going to make sure it is packed. And then also, will some of this be available online for those who can't make it to Detroit?
So we will be live streaming. We always do when we do the summits. We had our first summit in Florida. We kicked it off, and it's made a huge impact to a point where there's a grand jury that is investigating 3 NGOs going hard. So it's made a huge impact. The training sessions that, it's really for the grassroots, for the community. because they need to learn what's going on in their neighborhoods. Today it's like Michael says, General Flynn says, it's, local action. And that's where we to protect our children right there in our local communities. So this is very important that we learn these techniques. And let me just say, law enforcement is about 5-6 years behind criminals. So that means that the communities are not getting the up-to-date information and intel and so forth to understand what these guys are doing to steal kids, move kids, hurt kids, whatever it is, because it's big, big, big money. And children, unfortunately, are the victims, and the families, of course, all the families, it affects all the families. So it's very important grassroots learn technique, learn behavior, and learn, the tools, have the tools to protect their kids.
Well, there's a lot of us out here, and there's a couple on this call. I don't know if Alexandria made it, but I know Sonia's on this call. She is literally boots on the streets. She is out there literally doing the heavy lifting, and she and her friends are truly saving children in real time.
That's amazing.
Her and her friends saved 14 at the Las Vegas event alone and got them reunited back with their families.
God bless them. Now that's amazing. I mean, that's, because of the escalation at the border, where they are just dropping children anywhere, all over. They're dropping, groups of kids. Because of the supply now in the country, we're going to be affected very serious. It's going to be very serious. I call it a supply and demand, because a child who's been, used to be raped 10 times a day has a lifespan of 2 years, with a medical doctor or somebody treating them, getting them back into the mess. Because that's what they do. They use, there's a lot of corruption to make that child work and so forth. But now they don't have to wait to get a child fixed anymore. They have 5 more kids right there. So that child, they don't care if that child, has to live or die or whatever. They don't care. So supply and demand is big right now. It's up because of all these children. I mean, we have over 100,000 children, missing, and they said 85,000, but it's much bigger. It's much, much bigger. I mean, this crowd, Tara wrote us, and those whistleblowers, I've had many, many times sessions with them, and this is out of control. This is so evil that, people have to really wake up to this now. It's not conspiracy. It's not, look at all the stuff that's going on social media, like Liz Krogan's breaking stuff. All these guys are breaking all these stories about these guys. They had a big bust up in Boston, big bust going down from Boston to Washington, politicians, people well known that are involved in, hurting children. They're pedophiles, and they're everywhere. It's insane how many pedophiles there are, and it's hard for people to believe this, but we really do have to stop, the whole, I don't want to look at it. We have to stop. It's in your communities. These children, they're moving around the country. They're right in your communities. They're up in Michigan. They're moving kids from the border all the way through that border. Now, recently, there's been reporting on the border, the Canadian border. That's one of my biggest messages when we go to Michigan. Jason Jones is going to be there, and Lara Logan knows an awful lot about this. She'll be emceeing this. That these movements are big in that border up there. I mean, they're moving kids. They don't have to do anything once they get over the Canadian border either. So they can get away. They can get in and out of the border very fast, a lot faster than down south, even though that's bad. But this is really easy up in the Canadian border.
Michigan makes it, it's very easy for Michigan because we have the islands as well as the big bodies of water around the state, and we have an international port. So when they're moving kids around, even in Michigan, people typically think of it as the big cities and such, but they're having to move them just like drugs, going through the rural areas. And because they stripped out the community policing from funding, there's nobody there to really watch over it the way that it needs to be. So that's where every single person out there becomes so significant to
That's
get
right.
in this fight and help.
That's right. It is in your communities. And believe me, the rural areas are the easiest places for them to be because nobody's watching, nobody's seeing anything. And by the way, they're buying up houses, lots of cash. So they're buying up houses, buying up businesses, all cash businesses, and these things are being run right out of your own communities. So, I mean, there's tagging cars, they're tagging vulnerable children, families, so forth. There's so much to learn about this. Really learn how to protect your family, and it's just really, if the communities have more knowledge, can you imagine what they can do to force the law enforcement to, halt, to get involved and to listen to them? I mean, we have empowered a lot of people in the state of Florida with a lot of tools, and they are not letting up on the law enforcement, the sheriffs. They are really going at them because they have a lot of knowledge now. That knowledge is key. It's key.
Mary, if I could give you a little silver lining or some hope of what's coming,
Yes, sir.
As the general referred to, an army of digital soldiers. We have shifted from digging. Now we're looking to what can we go do? And when we start organizing and starting to find our leaders, starting to find our niche in the one thing that I might be good at doing, one thing she might be good at doing, we're going to go because we're tired of just researching. Now we want to go.
Right.
And it's coming.
Yeah, no, I know. And there's a couple of real good guys that they're retired military guys. Excuse me, I'm in my porch here. There's a couple of really good military guys. One guy has the Skull Games, and another fella, the Freedom, I can't think of the last name of their organization, but Freedom Sears or Freedom something. But anyways, these guys are starting to use a lot of vets. They need vets to do a lot of this. They're catching people left and right online too. So there's a lot of work that we can start to network really good organizations together. And it's very important that we do that. It's very important. That is very important.
Who will be leading this that we need to follow? Is it the general? Is there other people that we need to be paying attention to and supporting?
There's ARC, Association of Recovery of Children. They are going around the country. We just finished a big certification program down here. 65 people, about 8 law enforcement were in this program, and their organization, they are also a part of our advisory board, because I have a team of advisory people that they're from all walks of life, journalists, rescuing lawyers, really good team of people that have been in this fight quite some time. Ben Moore, Danny Moore, these guys are all a part of this advisory, but Boz has a network all over this country of children being rescued. And they go back to 1993. He's one of the first recoveries, Basil Boz, and he's our Association of Recovery of Children. So he's a guy that they need to follow. I can get them in touch. I get anybody in touch with these guys. They're very, very, very good people. They're very quiet. They're very, they're not shots. They don't work like that. None of us work like that at all. That's not what we're doing, and I won't have that, basically. I mean, this is serious. We're not messing around with, this is stuff that, it's hard to deal with this stuff. And it's at a ultimate high level of evil right now, where there's just so much destruction of children in this country, and we pay the most for this stuff in this country too. So this is serious business, and we have to be on the lookout for people that are hurting children. That's
Sure.
That's it.
So it seems like there are two factions working together. There are those that are doing things very quietly in a stealth-like faction who do not want to be outed. But there may be some spokespeople or some other people who can start waking people up and encouraging them to get involved and volunteer and do other things. For that second group, just you can get a hold of Donna anytime and she'll give you my contact info, but I can get those people on podcasts. I can get them exposed. I can get their message, not me, but my friends. It has nothing to do with me, but I've got some friends and together we can push things out. So anything you want put out into the world, we will do our level best to do that.
That's great. I mean, I know that Amanda, I don't know if she's on the call, that crowd, they're working hard with this milk carton project.
Mm-hmm.
That is a project that I am very interested in helping them get through. That is a very important project that they started, and that's going to be changed. That's going to be a game changer. They're putting. Have you guys heard of that one, Amanda?
I know I've been pushing every single one of those out.
That's going to be very good once that starts to get that. They're really putting that together very well, and that's so they're what they're doing is they're coming out of a corrupt system. This Amber Alert, all these kinds of corrupt, those are corrupt systems now. We know who's controlling those systems. So we got to step out of those corrupted systems already, right? So that's what they're doing with that milk carton. That's a great project. That's going to be anything I can do to help them make that better. And I'm going to talk to my brother about that too. He'd be very interested in that project.
Okay.
And then
there's a couple other people like Aaron Stevenson, who's the whistleblower from the Department of Homeland Security.
Yep.
He's teaching us on what we can do to literally flood their entire system with us filling out their questionnaires and holding them accountable.
That's right.
To do their jobs. And so, moving forward, Donna Brandenburg will be your point of contact. If you ever want our hive to do anything for you, you let her know, and we'll take care of that on our end.
Well, what you just said with Aaron, that's a big push that's going on. That's going through December 4th, and that is getting to the federal government. That is a very important thing to do. They try to slip through all these programs to get money, so it's all about money. And so this project, this whistleblower, these guys, they did a good job with that. That project that they're trying to push through HHS is going to actually be worse with child trafficking if they get that program. That's how important that is for everybody to make that comment. We just did America's Future just did a real big one. We just finished that one, and that's going to be we're going to send that in, and everybody on our team has made comments on that. That's another thing, is to call your legislation, call these the communities need to call them up, get involved, make them become accountable to what they're doing to protect children. I had a sheriff say that down here in Florida, say to me, there's no child trafficking going on down here. And that's a lot of baloney. I mean, every county has a problem with it.
Yes.
It doesn't not exist in every county now. I mean, so what are they?
Mary, I'm going to sneak in a little plug for everybody watching or listening to this. Please go to truthtrench.org and follow these simple instructions on the homepage on how you can submit your accountability to the HHS and to our federal government about holding them accountable to answering for what's going on with child and human trafficking. That is truthtrench.org. Go take the time. It's going to take you a half hour or so. It's the best half hour you can spend. Make a difference. Hold our government accountable for what we elected them to do. So please go and follow the instructions. They're not complicated.
So
No, they're not.
Mary, Sonia was just before you came on. My goodness sakes. She was just telling us her experience, her and her team in Vegas.
God,
In Vegas.
In Vegas, they go to the most dangerous places and where there's most, and their team have to wear bulletproof vests. They go into places that people are killed right in the parking lot. when she was telling her story, she is one hero.
Hey, Jimmy, I saw you had your hand up. We have somebody on the call. He's a one-legged patriot. And he wanted to say something to you about what he's doing at Truth Trench to help these children.
Oh, good. Oh, love it. I love it.
Jimmy, do you want to unmute and have a word, please?
Yeah, I'm here. I just turned on my stuff. Hi, Mary.
Hi. Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know Aaron. I've been working directly with Aaron and Tony and Tara, trying to get get them on as many podcasts as possible.
Good.
And, Aaron's doing one I think right now here in just a few minutes with
Yeah, he's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
He's wonderful.
So I was just how can we like intermingle our two platforms to get more push out there? I mean, we can talk in the background. We follow each other on X, so if you want to message me or whatever.
Well, this series of summits and this training that has been very intense. And right now that's what the group is doing is we have Michigan, we have Ohio, we're going huge in Texas because we've got a project that we're going to not only the summit and the training in Texas, but we're going to be we're looking to build a memorial for children that have been trafficked and for victims. And it's kind of it's in the works right now. But what we're doing is going around to as many states as we can to get this training. And there's about 15 instructors that we have. And I constantly have others join. I mean, we're building this as we go. There's so many people that are really, helping and doing their part. And they've been working at this for quite some time. And, these are people that nobody knows about either. So when I go into a state, I try to find the people that are working in it already. And they're the silent heroes, the ones that, need some help or need something that the communities need, or, whatever we can do. But this network that I have, Liz Krogan, these guys are big influencers and they're serious about children and their work has been serious. So all I know, and my brother is very serious about, exposing, okay? Because exposing is huge. We're exposing, we're educating, and we're going to eradicate this. And that's, that's what we're doing in the States. And as we move through the country, we're just building a bigger, network of people. And it's been fantastic. I mean, it's just been fantastic. The more people.
And I apologize for interrupting because if the general pops in, it'll be in a few minutes.
Sure.
Alexandra, I know you wanted to say something. I can't text you, but Sonia, Donna is asking for your contact information. I'm going to give her with your permission, I'm going to give it yours. Jimmy, I'm going to give her your contact information. Alexandra, with your permission, give me a thumbs up. Can I give them your contact info? Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I was going to ask for hers anyway, because one of our groups within the Shepherd's Task Force is based out of Michigan. They have recently, and they are, it's called Forward, which I dropped the link. They have just recently got into law enforcement, partnering with them. And our team just last month was there training their law enforcement in 2 counties. It has been spreading like wildfire, and they're going to continue going back to train law enforcement. Like you said, law enforcement is very behind on all of this. They don't know how to handle this. Not only is it the children coming across the border, it's our own children in our own backyards that parents are not educated on what's going on with social media, Snapchat, all of this, and that's what I try to use my voice for, is try to train parents, educate parents on what to look for, how to keep your kids safe. Not only do I go out there putting bulletproof vests on, in seedy areas in these cities with this team, we rescued 14 kids last week. Primarily, they were ages 12 to 17. Primarily, they were sex trafficked children. 2 of them we had to pull out of California, but we had teams on standby to get them on planes and pull them away. It's these kids are being lured from their homes. Parents parents,
Well,
the awareness needs to be out there.
Yeah, so we've had this problem in this. So before the border problem, we've had this, in 2020, 600,000, that's a number. I mean, these numbers are crazy, but, missing in foster care system, for example, because I've been doing this for 20 years with my own, advocating on CPS. I know the foster care system. I know the family court system. I know those systems very well because I experienced the corruption myself with my own grandchildren, my daughter, and so forth. And, so this has been going on already. Now, top it off with the children now they're bringing in. So why do you think they got to bring in more children? So there's so many nefarious things they're doing. And the bottom line gets to the final phase is organ harvesting. So we have children, being used for certain things, the abuse and sex trafficking. But then we have, a whole top organization of criminal, entities that do things to make money. And whether or not people want to believe this, but they're in Maryland. I think in Maryland, they just had a manufacturing plant of adrenochrome. They've got 2 plants in California. There's plants opening up all over this country. So, we're getting into a situation where there's a lot of, it's become very, very organized as far as, what we're doing with, children and the money that's being made. It's their commodities, and they don't care about life. That's the problem here. They do not care about life. That's it. I mean, whether it's cartel, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's, political leaders, whatever, they don't care about life. And it's very sad. And it's up to our families. It's up to our communities to stop this. Stop this. They're precious. And we've got to bring, respect back to life.
Mary, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if your brother is as punctual as I think he is, I'm not sure if I have his permission to record. So I'm probably going to have to stop recording, but I always want to give you the last word.
Oh, that's fine. Sure.
So if there's anything you want to get out in the world, please do it now. And the floor is yours.
Well, I'd love it if everybody could, make that effort to get to Michigan. This is going to be a great summit. 5:00 we kick off on December 8th, Friday night. We're going to be there to meet everybody. And then we're going to kick off a really heavy duty discussion starting at 6:30, couple of hours. And the next day we're going to be spending a lot of time with each other. So just get in there and sign up. It's very inexpensive. We made it very inexpensive for the it's like $15, $30 to join. It's very inexpensive for the community.
Well,
so,
I fully planned on letting the general tee that up. When he's talking, I'm going to do screenshots. I'll drop the links, but if he doesn't want us to record and share, we won't. But if he doesn't, when I share the one with you, I'm going to make sure the links for everything are down below.
That's all.
Okay.
And you know what? God bless everybody. Stay in this fight. Don't give this fight up. This fight is very important. It's all about the children.
They mess with the wrong people.
Yeah, they can this irritates them the most is that when people start taking care of children, this irritates them we get them. We're on the target. What's that? Over the target. That's what it is,
Well, speaking on behalf of my friends, and I've known these people for years, so I'm speaking on their behalf. We can't thank you and your family enough for what you've sacrificed for what we're going through. We will never stop fighting. We will never, ever not have your 6. And we're not only angry, but we're doing the slow burn, and they have pissed off the wrong people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're not going anywhere.
That's right. Fight like a Flynn.
Okay.
I love it. Yeah.
Fight like a Flynn.
Thank you, and may God bless you. And I hope you have a lot of peace in the holiday season. Thank you so much.
Thank
Everybody,
you, Mary.
God bless everybody.
To-
Bye-bye.